Well, hello and welcome. I'm Edward Mills, the host and the creator and the producer of this Abundant Mystic series, and I'm so excited you are here. I've got two really cool things I'm going to share with you today. The first, as you can see, is the proven way, or a proven way to open, expand, and awaken to a life of true abundance. It's a way that has definitely worked for me and a lot of other people, and I'm so excited to share with you. And I hope you're ready to create personal prosperity while making this world an awesome place for everyone. In fact, I know you are because you're here. You're part of this tribe already. And I know that you're ready to have some really, really awesome personal prosperity and help to create this world make it into the what we know is possible, an awesome place for everyone. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and share some of the biggest blocks, in fact, six of the biggest abundance blocks that I've found in my own work and in my work coaching others, and as hosting all of these great abundant mystic masters, and just finding that there are some common themes. So we're going to go through those six biggest abundance blocks. I'll share some ideas on how you can break them each individually, and then I'm going to share the one secret to breaking through all of them and creating a life of personal prosperity, because there is one common thread that I've found that's going to help you break through all of those. And then after we go through that, I want you to hang around because I have a really, really special announcement about a new way that you can access the Abundant Mystic series and have no expiring replays and get access to some really, really great additional benefits that are going to really ramp up your ability to create true abundance. And we've got an awesome early adopter special happening right now. So hang around because I would love for you to join us as one of our early adopters. Here's a quote from Wendell Berry that'll give you a little hint of where we're heading. Healing is impossible in loneliness. It is the opposite of loneliness. Conviviality is healing. To be healed, we must come with all the other creatures to the feast of creation. I just love that. Healing is impossible in loneliness. There's such a truth in that, and I'm going to share more about that as we go through this. Let's start by going through the six biggest abundance blocks, and I just wonder, you might want to pause this for a moment and just write down what you think the six biggest abundance blocks are. If you feel like taking a shot at it and then turning the recording back on and listening again as we go through them. Okay, so here are what I see as six of the biggest abundance blocks that I've seen both in myself and in my coaching clients and just in other people I know. The first, obviously, I think is a no-brainer. It's fear. Fear is one of the biggest abundance blocks that we've got out there. The second is comfort zone. Our comfort zone tends to keep us small. It wants to keep us safe, but in keeping us safe, it keeps us small, and we can't move into abundance if we're stuck in our comfort zone. The next one is the lack of knowledge. If we don't have a certain knowledge about something, it's going to be hard to create abundance. Like if we lack the knowledge of how to invest or what to do with our money, then that's going to be a problem. Lack of clarity about what we want to do and how the vision we have for our life and what the next step is, that often contributes to that. That's often a big abundance block. And it's sort of tied into this next one, which is inaction. Inaction often can come from a lack of clarity, but it can also come from a lot of other things, including the magical thinking trap that we can sit and visualize and have abundance flow to us. And then the final biggest abundance block is isolation, being on our own, not connecting with other people. And we'll talk a lot about that and how it really ties into all of these. But let's quickly go through these, and I'll share a little bit more about each one as we go through them. So the number one abundance block is fear, and there's so many different things that we're afraid of that can keep us from creating a life of personal prosperity and a life of true abundance. And I'll just go through some of them, and I'm sure you can come up with some others. The first one is success. You might say, "Wow, that's strange. Why would anyone fear success?" But if you feel into it, there's most likely a part of you that does fear success. In order to be successful, some common beliefs are that people won't like me, that I'll have to let go of certain things, that I'll be responsible, that I'll have more money and people will come and ask me for things. There's all kinds of kind of strange, convoluted thoughts that come up when you think about being successful and abundant. So fear of success is the first one. And obviously the opposite of that is fear of failure. We often get stuck and don't take action because we're afraid that we're going to make a mistake or we're going to fail. And there's so much tied up in failure, whether it's from a childhood belief system that when we failed we got reprimanded or punished, or we're embarrassed by it. So there's lots of stuff tied up in both success and failure. Fear, oh, where do we go here? Let me go back there. Fear of the unknown is the next one. What we don't know is scary to us, and that's a biologically sound fear. If we don't know what's around that bend or in that cave, or hiding in the dark forest, it makes sense that we want to be afraid. But when we're afraid of the unknown, an unknown that has the potential to open us to a greater capacity to live and enjoy and love and share our light and our message, then that's holding us back. Related to that is the fear of the future. Again, if we don't know what the future holds, we're going to be afraid, and that's going to hold us back from taking action. And then one of the last fears that I'll just share is the fear of money. It's interesting how many people actually are afraid of money, and that ties into one of the abundance blocks about lack of knowledge. And there's lots of other things about money. Money could hold a belief system for you that if you have money, you're going to get in fights. And if you don't have money, you're going to get in fights. Or if money's going to make you greedy, or money's going to make you turn into a bad person, or it's going to amplify certain qualities or characteristics in you that that's going to you're not going to like. So you see, there's all these fears. They're often irrational, but we have to acknowledge them because they're an important piece of the puzzle when we're trying to break through these abundance blocks and create personal prosperity. So the next fear we want to talk about is your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is that place that keeps you safe. What you know is safe, and your comfort zone wants to keep you in what is known. Your comfort zone actually protects you. It actually, again, from a biological perspective, it keeps you in a place of homeostasis on a biological level, on an emotional level, on an intellectual level, and your ego mind and other parts of your mind, your limbic brain, want you to stay safe. So they want you to stay in your comfort zone. But again, where abundance lives is at the edge and out beyond the edge of your comfort zone. So you're going to have to break through your comfort zone and get to the edge and beyond if you want to create more abundance than you have now. Your comfort zone is reflected in your environment. So if you look around at your environment, you'll see evidence of how your comfort zone is protecting you. And that environment is reflected in your community, your house, your home, where you live, your car you drive. You'll see lots of clues about what feels comfortable to you. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. And as I said, it's served a purpose in our collective past to keep us safe, to keep us out of the way of saber-toothed tigers and things like that. But now it really tends to hold us back and hinder us and hamper our ability to grow and expand and evolve. Really, as the world changes, you must change. We all must change, and this world is changing very, very quickly. Very, very rapid change is happening, and it's disruptive to our minds. It's disruptive to our psyches in many ways. And the more we try to sort of shrink into our comfort zone, the more difficult it becomes because the world is changing so fast. So learning to become fluid and flexible and open to change and open to stepping into new things and new experiences and new environments is going to make a huge, huge difference in your ability to expand your ability to create abundance and prosperity. The third abundance block is lack of knowledge. And obviously, abundance is natural. Abundance is really our birthright. That's something I share a lot. Abundance is your birthright, absolutely. But in this world, some aspects of abundance are complicated. And there's no way around that. When you look at the financial system that's been set up, it takes knowledge to understand the financial system. So if you don't understand money and the financial system, it's going to be hard for you to create financial abundance. And this goes for abundance in all areas. And it's also complicated. Abundance can be complicated because of past beliefs, past experiences, past traumas. So that's why the work that we're doing in the Abundant Mystic is to unravel some of those complications so that you can come back to that very simple, very clear, very calm place of abundance that is your birthright. One of the first things that you have to do about lack of knowledge is acknowledge what you don't know and be okay with that. We often have a belief that we have to know everything. And, often we don't know everything. And if you acknowledge that there are things you don't know, it opens you to the possibility of learning and going out and learning what you need to know. And that allows you to move more quickly and more expansively into a space of abundance. The abundance block number 4 is lack of clarity. Clarity is really, the basis of clarity is your vision for yourself, your vision for your life. Unfortunately, what happens is often our visions are clouded by other people's ideas and beliefs about how we should be in the world, what we should do, what our vision should be, who we should be. And when we are influenced and impacted by other people's ideas and beliefs, it makes it very difficult to be clear about what our vision is. It can really come down to this very basic question about who are you? Who are you? There's kind of that cliche about going out and finding yourself, but that's really true, and that's a lot of what we're trying to do here. A lot of what we are doing here at the Abundant Mystic. We're coming back to ourselves. These speakers, the teachers, the mentors, the healers, the guides that we're listening to, they're really helping us land back in ourselves. They're helping you discover who you really are at your core, at your essence. And when you know who you are, then you can know what your desires are. You can be clear on your vision, and your vision can lead you to a very clear sense of what you want in the world, what you want to create, what you want to have, what you want to do. And it can also help you get very clear about your purpose. Why are you here? I believe that we all have a message. We all have a purpose. We all have a gift to share. And when you're clear on who you are, you're clear on your vision, you're clear on your desires, then that purpose begins to emerge and begins to come out through your willingness and ability to show up in the world as you with clarity and focus. The next abundance block, number 5, is inaction. You have to take action if you want abundance. And I apologize if some of you are here thinking or hoping or praying that the Abundant Mystic Masters are going to wave their magic wand or send out a magic pill and it's just going to magically change your life. A lot of what they do will change your life, and the energetic work they do absolutely does change your life. No question about it. And at the same time, you have to take action. If you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling unsure, magical thinking will not get you out of that. You've got to take action. You've got to get out there. You've got to make changes. It gets circles right back around to your comfort zone. If you are stuck, then you are in your comfort zone. Your comfort zone wants to keep you small. And when you feel stuck, when you start to feel stuck, and especially when you start to feel strong emotions around that stuckness, whether it's despair or resentment or anger or frustration, that's a sign that you're ready to break free. You're ready to break through and get out of that stuck place and move to the edge of your comfort zone and beyond so that you can expand into abundance. So that's a great sign that it's time to take action. And the final abundance block is isolation. Isolation, this is huge, 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 huge. This is, I would say, the biggest block to abundance is isolation. And this, I'm going to give you a little clue here. This is a big part of the secret to breaking through your abundance blocks. if you feel alone, if you feel a sense of alienation, like you don't belong here, then often what happens is we shrink back into ourselves. I had a teacher once who had this phrase, the privatization of pain, and I would actually include the privatization of pleasure. But for the moment, let's talk about the privatization of pain. And what he meant by that is that when we're in pain, when we're struggling, when we're suffering, our natural response, or it's actually not our natural response, it's our learned response, is to close down, to shut down, to go into isolation, to not share with anyone because we don't want to burden people. Now, sharing with people is not about burdening people, and there are ways to do it that are healthy, and there are ways to do it that are unhealthy. And at another time, I'll share a little bit about how to share your pain, how to share your struggle in a way that actually is healthy and doesn't burden another. But for now, just be aware of this idea of the privatization of pain. When you close down and sort of go inside, you lose out. You like turn your back on support and encouragement, and that's exactly what you need when you're in these places, when you're coming up against the edge of your comfort zone, when you're coming up the edge, you're coming into a block. That's the time when you need support and encouragement. And if you close down and go within and isolate, you're not going to get that. And what happens is you go into an infinite loop because you're not getting feedback. So you're not getting a sense of what's working and what's not working. So you're just looping around. It's like a record that's skipping. And it just keeps going around and around and around. And until you break out of that infinite feedback loop, you're just going to keep doing it. And the other thing is you don't have any accountability. So if you're looking to take action, if you're looking to change something, and you don't have a support system, there's not really any incentive for you to take the actions that you know you should take. And I'm pretty confident, I'm pretty sure that you know at least one action that you could be taking right now that would help you break through some of your abundance blocks. But if you're doing it alone, if you're in isolation, it's very difficult to get the leverage you need to continue to make those changes. Okay, let's talk about how to break through these blocks a little bit more. And again, I'm not going to go in depth into these, but I'm going to give you some tips and things that have worked for me and worked for my coaching clients, and that some of the Abundant Mystic Masters have shared. So when we talk about how to break free of the abundance block of fear, let's talk about some internal tools. First is breath, and breath is a tool that pretty much across the board can break you through, or at least move you and open you when you're feeling closed and contracted and constricted. So breath across the board is going to be a tool that I would encourage you to work with. Awareness. When you're in fear, what happens is you go into that very old part of your brain, the reptilian brain, that gets you into that fight or flight space, fight, flight, or freeze space. And when you're there, it's very difficult to bring awareness of what is happening around you. It's awareness that will break you out of the fear. So breath can help bring back awareness. The first key is obviously to recognize when you're in fear, and then to make a decision that you're going to do something about it. So breath, awareness, presence will bring you back. Presence, just being present with the fear, asking yourself, what is this fear really about? There's an exercise that I often lead my coaching clients, when I used to do coaching, through, where we would actually follow that fear right through to the like worst case scenario. Because often what happens is when you follow it through, when you follow it all the way through, when you actually let that fear express itself, it diminishes the charge. So that's a tool that you can play with. And then finally, an internal tool, and this could be an external tool also, but love. You've probably heard the phrase that there are only two emotions, fear and love. Love is the opposite of fear. It is the love in the fear cannot exist in the presence of love. So if you find yourself in fear, you can begin to shift it immediately by focusing on something or someone you love. If you have a pet, that's why pets are such amazing healing beings, because if you're in fear and you go and you pet your dog, or you let your cat sit on your lap and you pet your cat, or you go find your child, or a loved one, or you go out in your garden and smell a flower that you love, or look at the garden. All of those things will bring you back to a space of love, and the more you connect with love, the less room there is for fear in your life. So those are some basic tools you can use when you feel fear, and begin to break through that abundance block of fear. Now, about external tools. External tools are things that you can actually do out in the world. The first one that I would say is reach out to others. That gets back to this idea of isolation, the opposite of isolation. Get support. Again, when you're in fear, it's a great time to ask for support. I was having dinner with my girlfriend last night, and she was having a hard time. She was in fear about expanding her coaching practice, and we just talked through it. And just as we talked, and she was able to share her fears, you could feel that fear begin to release. You could feel it begin to lessen and loosen and begin to dissolve, so that she could actually get clarity. So getting support, reaching out, and sharing your fear with someone else, those are all wonderful, wonderful ways to external tools that you can use to break the abundance block of fear. Now, for the comfort zone, let's go through the internal and external tools again. The internal tools include self-compassion and self-acceptance. This is a wonderful and important thing for you to do when you're on the edge of your comfort zone, because when you're at the edge of your comfort zone, things are going to be up for you. Your body is going to be in a heightened state of alert. So you've got to take care of yourself. Another piece is self-care. You've got to really nurture yourself when you know you are actively working on at the edge of your comfort zone. You really have to practice self-care. It's really important. And again, presence, just like with fear, presence and awareness that you are at the edge of your comfort zone. It's very important to be aware that you are at the edge of your comfort zone. And when you are aware, then you have the presence to know, oh, okay, I've got to take care of myself. I've got to get a walk in. I've got to get a massage. I've got to take a bath. I've got to, whatever it is that works for you to ease that tension and bring you into a state of self-care. And love, again, works here. Loving yourself, self-love, accepting yourself, really being loving to yourself, and really being grateful to yourself for your willingness to move out to the edge of your comfort zone. And now for external tools, same. Reach out, get support, share your discomfort. If you're at the edge of your comfort zone, let someone know. Don't do it on your own. Let someone know and ask for feedback. You can even set up support systems in advance where you ask someone to be present for you and to kind of cheer you on, to give you a big high five, to give you a woohoo when you say, I'm at the edge of my comfort zone. I really don't feel good. And they say, woohoo, that means you're doing great work. That really, really helps when you get that kind of feedback. And another thing you can do is you can change your environment. You can look at ways to actually support you when you're at the edge of your comfort zone versus things that would encourage you to come back into your comfort zone. So an example would be if for you, a way that you go back into your comfort zone is to eat unconsciously and eat things that are not that healthy for you. You can just stop having those things in your house. Just stop having the cookies and the chips and the things like that, and instead have apples and salad, greens and healthy crackers or whatever, kale chips instead of chips. Change your environment so that it supports you as you are moving out of your comfort zone into the edge of your comfort zone. Okay, let's look at lack of knowledge. That's the abundance block number 3. So again, we've got internal tools and external tools. I mentioned this already. Acknowledge what you don't know. That's really going to go a long way to helping you open and expand your knowledge. And just acknowledging that there are things that you don't know is a good first step. See if you can remove the phrase "I know that" from your vocabulary. As soon as you say, I know that, you shut down the learning process immediately. So every time you catch yourself saying, I know that, see if you can kind of do a redo, back up, and delete it from your vocabulary. And stay open. Stay open to ways to learn, and stay open to kind of feel into the places where there are things that you don't know. Those are internal tools. External tools include learning from masters. That's what you're doing here with the Abundant Mystic. You've really said yes, and I really want to acknowledge you for saying yes to being here and learning from these incredible Abundant Mystic masters. But beyond that, it's really important that you be open to learning from everyone. Everyone is a teacher. Everyone is in your life for a reason, and they have something for you to learn. So, even the most irritating people in your life, there's something for you to learn there. So stay open to learn from everyone, and stay open to learning from every experience in your life, whether you consider it a failure, a mistake, a waste of time. There's something in there for you to learn. So stay open to learn all the time. Lack of clarity is the next abundance block. Let's look at some of the internal tools that you can use to get clarity. The first is clear your inner space, and there are lots of tools to do that. A lot of the Abundant Mystic Masters that we've listened to have powerful tools for clearing your inner space. That includes clearing beliefs, clearing thoughts, clearing your vibration, clearing energy states and emotional states. So the more you can do to clear your inner space, the more you will get clarity inside. Knowing your vision. Spending some time working with your vision is huge, 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 huge. In the 30-day abundance quest that I do, one of the biggest steps on the quest is clarifying your vision and then reading it every day for 30 days. It is amazing what happens when you take the time to read your vision every day. And as you read it every day, you get more clarity. So I really encourage you to work on your vision. Focus on the next step. So one of the things again that I work on when I do coaching is to have that long-term vision, but then to bring it back to the very next step, so you don't get diffuse in all these other steps that are sort of out there somewhere, because it can get very distracting to have so many steps that you're thinking about, or so many things that you're thinking about out there. So when you know your vision, then bring it back down and focus on what's the very next step I can take to move towards that vision. Okay, external tools. You cleared your inner space. Now clear your outer space. Clear your environment. Clear your desk. I'm looking at my desk, and it could use some clearing. I cleared it out last week, and now there's some books on it. There's notes from the sessions that we've had this week, and it can stand some clearing. And I'm looking around my office, there's other things. So this weekend I'm going to do a space clearing on my office. And then again, seed your environment with things that remind you about your vision. Seed your environment with things that support you in your clarity. And those can be notes, they can be images, it could be a vision board, it could be anything that reminds you and reinforces the power of your vision and helps you to stay in that place of clarity. Okay, the next abundance block is inaction. How do we break out of inaction? Well, there are internal tools and external tools. An internal tool that you can use is visualization. This is where you actually visualize yourself taking an action that you know you should take, want to take. When you visualize an action, you're actually sort of pre-paving the way, and it can really help you if you're feeling scared of taking an action, if you're worried that you're going to do it wrong, if you're worried that it'll upset someone. Taking some time to visualize it and go through it will really help you move forward. You've got to have a willingness to make mistakes. You absolutely have to be willing to fail, to mess up, to screw up. That's a big part of taking action. And if you're not willing to do something wrong, if you're not willing to make a mistake, it's going to really hold you back and prevent you from taking the actions that will lead you to abundance. So willingness to make mistake, and then having willpower. We're only given so much willpower in this lifetime and in each day. So using your willpower to really focusing it on the right things, and in this case, focusing it on taking an action each and every day that's leading you towards more abundance is going to be a great use of the willpower that you have. Now, for external tools, one of the things that I love and have learned from several people is the power of ritual. Ritual is a little bit deeper than routine. Ritual is something I do, a morning ritual every morning. I wake up, I meditate for 15 minutes, I do a yoga and qigong practice for about 20-30 minutes in the morning, and then I have a 15 to 20 minute dialoguing period where I'm talking really with my higher self or source, and I really get into a space of being open to what's coming through. That's my morning ritual, and it really starts the day out right. And it's a wonderful thing for you to start thinking about. Rituals are a great way to move you into action. Another great tool is something called micro movements. It's wonderful if you're stuck on something that you really know you want to do. Just break it down into tiny, tiny pieces. It can be ridiculously small steps and tasks. For instance, if you're writing a book, you break it down. Well, writing a book, that's a pretty darn big task. So write down, well, I'm going to write a chapter. Well, that's too much. I'm going to write a paragraph. That's too much. Well, I'm going to write a sentence. That's too much. I'm going to write a word. And if that's too much, well, I'm going to turn my computer on. I'm going to sit down at the desk. I'm going to sharpen my pencil. Literally break it down until you get to an incremental step that you feel like you can actually commit to doing. Public commitment is a wonderful thing to do. When you share something that you're committing to, it's a wonderful, wonderful way to keep you accountable to it. And accountability is another thing. Having a friend or colleague or an associate that you set up an accountability partnership with is a great way to move you into action. Okay, the final abundance block we're going to talk about is isolation. And again, this in some ways I consider to be the key to breaking through your abundance blocks and creating true prosperity. A sense of belonging is going to go a long way to breaking through isolation. A sense that you actually belong here, you belong in this life, you belong in this world, you belong in your family, you belong in your business. It's amazing how when I've worked with coaching clients and whatever the issue is, when we get down to the root, on some level there's a sense, of alienation, a sense that they don't belong. And if you can nurture that sense of belonging, it will go a long way to helping you move out of your isolation and move into connection with other people. Now keep in mind that no one is special, everyone is essential. This is a paraphrase from A Course in Miracles. No one is special. That includes you. You're not special. I'm not special. The Abundant Mystic Masters are not special. No one is special, but everyone, you, me, the Abundant Mystic Masters, everyone is essential. Everyone has a part to play in this life, in this world, and that includes you. And when you remember that no one is special, no one is more special than you, and you remember that you, along with everyone else, is essential. Your part, your piece to play is essential. If you keep yourself in isolation, the world loses out on that piece that you have. And gosh, I just can't even imagine, what are we losing out when you stay isolated and small and in your comfort zone and aren't willing and able to step out and really show up and shine your light and share your message? The world loses out because you're the only one who has that piece. You're the only one who has that unique piece. Cultivating a connection with Source is huge in breaking out of isolation. Oftentimes we look to other people as our source of validation, our source of love, our source of comfort. Ultimately, the only comfort, the only love there is from Source, from God, from life, from the Tao, from God, goddess, whatever you want to call it. That source connection is our ultimate comfort, our ultimate security, our ultimate safety. And when you nurture that and begin to deepen into that, it opens the way for you to step out more boldly into the world and connect with others in a way that feels really wonderful and nurturing. All right, let's look at some external tools, and some of these will sound familiar. Reach out, reach out. I know it's hard when you're in that place and you feel that desire to go within, to close down, to shut down, to get small, to isolate. It's very difficult to reach out, but that's the time when it's so important to reach out. It's so important to reach out. Open to what is already here. So open to the friendships that you already have. Open to the people in your life who are already around you, and deepen. See if you can deepen connections with them. And a good one is to start to develop new friends. And we'll talk a little bit more about that because that's really important. That's really key to all of this. So let's talk about the secret to breaking through all abundance blocks. Do you have an idea? I kind of gave you a hint. I've been giving you a hint as we go through this, and I believe there really is one secret to breaking through all of these abundance blocks. And to me, that secret is connection. Connecting on many levels. So let's talk about those levels. There's the first connection of self, connecting with yourself, getting to know who you are on a deeper level, getting to know what you want, getting to know your vision, getting to know your essential nature. That is huge. Connecting with others in a deep way, opening up to intimacy with others. Doesn't have to be physical intimacy, but emotional intimacy, spiritual intimacy. In some ways, you could say that the depth of work that we're doing here in the Abundant Mystic, it's a really intimate connection because we're coming together into this field. We're really opening up into this field of energy, and there's an intimacy in that energy work that means that our connection in some ways is more deep and intimate than connections that you might have with people who you've known for most of your life but have never really dropped in that really deep way. And then connection with source. So self, other, source. Those are three of the key connection points that are really going to help you to break through your abundance blocks. And I'm going to share a little bit more about that. When you have connection on these three levels, it dispels your fear. It opens the doorway out of your comfort zone and into the unknown zone where abundance lives. It gives you access to knowledge when you connect with other people, when you connect with Source. It gives you access to knowledge that you didn't have before. It provides you with reflection and feedback on your vision and on what you're doing in your life. It catalyzes action. It will encourage you and support you in the actions that you want to take, and it breaks the grip of isolation. When you have connection, when you are in a community, it helps all six. It helps you break through all six of the big abundance blocks. Now let's talk about environment, because your environment is one of the biggest factors that can either limit or expand and grow your growth and success and abundance. Now, when you look around at your environment, when you think about your environment, ask yourself, does it support you or does it hold you back? And there are lots of ways that it can support you. And we talked about some of them, having vision boards around, having notes around that encourage you, that lift you up. And the ways that it can hold you back are clutter in your life, food that doesn't support you, things that distract you when you're supposed to be doing stuff. All those things hold you back. If you want to change your life, a great place to start is by changing your environment. To change your life, change your environment. All right, let's talk about community for a little bit, because this all ties together into this secret to creating true abundance. I want you to think about who you spend your time with. Think about your colleagues, your family, your friends, your mentors, your coaches and teachers that you may have. And in particular, I want you to think about the 6 people you spend the most time with. Think about those 6 people you spend the most time with. there's a study, there are many studies that have been done about the people we spend time with. And one of the studies I find fascinating is that if you look at the people you spend the most time with, the 6 people you spend the most time with, if you look at their income, their average income, and you average it together, that's going to be about your income. So if you're hanging out with people who are, struggling financially, it's a good chance that you're struggling financially. The fastest way to improve your life and create more prosperity, can you guess what it is? Change the people you spend your time with. I know that sounds a little cold and callous, but here's the thing. If you want to create abundance and prosperity in your life, the fastest way to improve your life and create more prosperity is to change the people you spend time with. It doesn't mean you have to kick people out of your life. It doesn't mean you need to be harsh. It just means you have to change a little bit and start creating new friends and new connections with people who are ideally a little bit to a lot of it more successful and more abundant with you. Because think about it. Let's say you're making $25,000. Let's say you're making $50,000 a year right now. And you look at the people, the 6 people you're hanging out with, and you figure out the average, and you're right, they're right at about 50,000 when you average them out. Well, look at it this way. If you got 3 people, in your life that you started spending more time with who are making $100,000 or $200,000 a year, then that's going to bump your average up dramatically. And what happens is as you spend more time with them, you're in a different energy vibration, because someone who's making $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000, they're in a certain energetic vibration around abundance and success and the value they're bringing to the world. When you're hanging out with people who are making 100,000, 200,000, running businesses that are making millions of dollars, they're in a very different mindset. Now, look, I'm not saying one is better or worse than the other. There's not a hierarchy here. I'm just saying that if you are interested in having a bigger impact on the world, living a life with more prosperity, serving more people, enjoying your life more, having more money, and just being in a life of true abundance, the fastest way to get there is to change the people you hang around with. Now, our instantly connected world makes it easy. You can join online communities, you can find meetups and connect with other like-minded people. You can seek out mentors, both virtual mentors and local mentors. You can get a coach. A coach is a great way. If you spend time with a coach, that you're spending time with a coach. And, hopefully get a coach who's making a lot more money than you so that bumps up your vibration. You can take classes. You can go on retreats. You can immerse yourself in learning environments. And all of these give you access to people who are, that you'll be able to find people who are at the next level and the next level and, 1, 2, 3, 4 levels ahead of you in their abundance and success. So now it's your turn to make a commitment. It's your turn to make a commitment to yourself, to the world, to your friends, to your family. What are you going to do to break one of the abundance blocks that we talked about? What's one step that you can take right now, or at least today, to break through one of the blocks to abundance that we talked about? Remember, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. If you keep doing the same thing you're doing, you're going to keep getting the same results. If you want a different life, you've got to do something different. You've got to take a different action. You've got to change something, shift something. What will that be? What's it going to be? Okay, that's a really pretty whirlwind tour of the 6 biggest blocks, but hopefully there's some good information in there that you can put into practice. And I'd love for you to write me, shoot me an email, let me know what is the action that you're going to take. What's the action you're going to take that will be different? Send an email, edward@theabundantmystic.com. I'd love to hear from you. And that's a great way to even start the process of accountability. Even just sending that email, committing to sending the email and letting me know what you're committing to doing. That's a great first step. That's a great commitment. Now, I want to share another possible commitment for you, another opportunity. that I'm really, really excited about. And obviously, I'm super excited about the Abundant Mystic series. I created it really to help serve as many people as I could, to help people create personal prosperity while making this world a better place for all. And it definitely addresses some of those abundance blocks. It addresses the lack of knowledge. Obviously, it shares these masters are sharing great knowledge. It addresses the comfort zone by giving you an opportunity to actually move to the edge of your comfort zone when you're going through the processes and listening to the speakers. To a certain extent, it addresses the isolation, because when you're coming together into the field, it's actually beginning to shift your energy out of isolation and into connection. Even if you're not physically connecting, it's shifting your energy and bringing you into a vibration of connection. But I've been thinking about what can I do, what can we do here that would help get more of these blocks, that would help break through more of these blocks. And so this opportunity that we created, it's going to get all 6 of these blocks, or give you the opportunity to break through all 6 of these blocks in a much bigger way. Look, here's the thing. You don't have to do it alone. In fact, you can't do it alone. Well, I wouldn't say you can't. It's much more difficult to do it alone. Way back when I was studying indigenous ritual and healing very intensively, one of the things we talked about was this idea of a predator. The predator in this particular indigenous culture that I was studying, the idea of the predator is that you have this inner predator. It's not an external predator trying to come up and pounce on you. It's coming from the inside, and it tries to come and kind of keep you small. It's almost that protector of your comfort zone. And as I was working with the predator one day, I was in meditation, and or maybe a ritual, I can't remember. But what came to me really clearly was this phrase: it's not, escaping from the predator, beating the predator is not about how strong you are, how fast you are, how intelligent you are. The only thing that matters with a predator is how many friends you have. And when I got that insight, I was like, wow, that was amazing. Because think about what a predator does in real life. A predator tries to cull the weak from the herd, right? A predator will almost never attack a healthy animal, and they will almost never attack even a sick or a young animal that's in the herd. But what a predator does is it looks for weak animals that are isolated, and if it can't find one, then it tries to cull them. It tries to pull a weak animal out of the herd. So as this predator is working on inside of you to try to keep you small and keep you in your comfort zone, the antidote is to not do it alone. Because when you do it alone, the predator is going to win. The more difficult the changes are, the more you need support. Okay, so big changes are hard to make in isolation. Big changes are hard to make, period. Okay, let's face it. If you're facing a big transformation, if you're at the edge of your comfort zone, I'm right there with you. It's hard to make big changes, and it's much harder to do it when you're in isolation. But here's the thing. Our connected world means no one needs to do this powerful life and world-changing work alone. You don't need to do it alone. These changes that you're moving through, they're beautiful, they're wonderful, they're opening you so that you can share more of your gifts and your light and your love with the world. We need that, we want that. The world wants what you have. You don't have to do it alone. And when you're in community, when you have support, it makes it so much easier. The predator can't get you if you're in the herd. So what we've created is the Awakening Circles. It's a powerful opportunity for you to go deeper into the work that we're doing here at the Abundant Mystic. And it includes community, it includes connection, it provides context, and it will provide you with the catalyst you need to break through your abundance blocks. Now, I was listening to or interviewing one of our speakers the other day, and it was a pretty out there session. And the phrase came to me, as I was thinking. I'm pretty much a woo woo guy. I'll admit, As much as I'm grounded now, there was a time when I would just like would love to just go off and get all these wow woo-woo things. And what I realized that we're doing here in the Abundant Mystic is making it, I'm setting it up, and that's my intention really, that nothing is too woo as long as it works. Okay? Here's the thing. We can go and do all these great tools, but if they're going to keep us out there and not be grounded and not make us more successful, more prosperous, and more abundant, and more open to better relationships, if they're not going to work to change something in the physical world, then I'm not really interested in it anymore. The question for me is, does it have a positive impact on your life, and does it have a positive impact on the world? And that's one of the those are the criteria I use when I'm choosing Abundant Mystic speakers. It's like, is their work? I don't care how woo-woo it is. I don't care how out there it is. I just want to know that it's grounded. That the way they're doing it, the way they're presenting it, the way that it's going to impact you and me and the world is in a positive way. So I'm really excited to start these awakening circles, and I want to talk about the early adopters because this is the opening week, and we've got a really, really special offer for those of you who are ready to jump in now. And I know because you're here in the Abundant Mystic Tribe, you're already way ahead of the curve. You're already an early adopter. I live in Northern California where there's lots of us out there, early adopters. But I know that you guys are calling in from all over the place, and where you are an early adopter. We all are early adopters. When we look at the entire world and the entire population, what we're doing here is out there, and it's good. It's out there in a good way. It's great. We are changing the world. We're bringing more of this high frequency energy and positive transformation into the world, and you've already opened up to this cutting edge spiritual and energetic technologies that these masters are sharing, and it's wonderful. And when you jump into the awakening circles, it's as an early adopter in this first week, you're going to save a lot of money, but it's also going to have the biggest impact on your life because you're going to be part of the core group. So not only will it have the biggest impact on your life, it's also going to have the biggest impact on the world, and you're going to have a big impact on the direction of these circles, because as someone who jumps in early, you're going to help to chart the course of these communities. I'm very, very excited. So I want to talk about the special incentive because I love early adopters, and we really do have a great incentive for you. When you sign up in this first week, this opening week, you're going to get the higher level circle for whatever price you sign up at. So we've kept these circles extremely affordable because I want everyone to be able to join us. I don't want money to be the reason you say no to this. Okay, so we've kept the pricing very, very affordable so that you can get in. Our goal here in the Abundant Mystic team is to have a robust, big, abundant mystic tribe of people who are ready to go deep. This is not just for the people who want to listen to the free calls. If you're still here, this means that you're someone who's ready to go deeper. Okay? And that's what we're looking for. Those are the people we want in the awakening circles. And in addition to getting the higher level circle, your membership fee will never increase. And we're planning on adding a lot more benefits as we evolve these communities. So you will be grandfathered in at the price you get in at now, and likely over the next month, the pricing is going to go up as we add more value. Okay, so there's 3 circles, 3 levels. The opening circle gives you unlimited online access. So what this means, there's no more expiring replays. Okay, no more expiring replays. You can listen whenever you want. Okay, it's online access. You won't be able to download, but it's online access. The expanding circle, you also get access to the download, the MP3 download. So not only can you listen online, everyone gets an online listening salon, so you'll be able to listen online whenever you want. If you're in the expanding circle, you also get access to download the session recording so you can listen wherever and whenever you want. Now, I personally am super excited about the Awakening Circle because this is the group that is going to, the members of this group, your lives are going to change and you're going to change the world. So you get all of that. You get the unlimited online access. You get the download recordings. You get the recordings. You also get the transcripts. You get the call summaries. You get the bonus materials. I'm not going to go through all these details because it'll be on the upgrade page. But just believe me, that this content alone is super valuable. And then there's a lot more. So let me just quickly go through these things, and then we'll talk about the other stuff. So in your member area, you'll have access to download everything. So you can download the recording, the transcript, the summary sheets. The summary sheets include include transcripts and include the call summaries. Sorry, I just had a little power outage here, so my screen went blank. So that's why I kind of lost my my thing here. My computer's still running though, so I can look at it here. Sorry about that. You also get the bonus content. You get the energetics of attraction and the harmonics of human perception bonuses. And now the cool stuff is we've also got an online community. And you're going to be the first people in the online community, so you're going to really get to chart the course of this community. So you're going to connect with abundant mystics from all over the world. And the crazy thing is you might actually find that some are nearby. You might have thought you were doing this all alone, but you might find that someone's actually close by to you. You're going to be able to share your stories in the community. This is a great way to break the isolation. You're going to be able to find accountability partners, and we'll be helping you to do that. We'll be, I'll be on that forum a lot, and I'm going to actually get some of the Abundant Mystic Masters and teachers to come and do that more often. You'll also get personal feedback and support both from me and from the other teachers and mentors and coaches. So it's going to be a great community. I'm really excited about it, and I would love for you to join us. There's also going to be coaching, healing, and teaching calls. So every month there'll be at least one special call that's just for Awakening Circle members. You're going to get healing and coaching from world-class coaches and healers. I'll be doing some of the coaching calls myself, and in other cases I'll bring in some of the Abundant Mystic Masters and teachers and mentors to do special sessions. I'll also be bringing in other people who might not be on the series, but who have really great healing and coaching skills. So there'll be special training sessions with experts. And on these calls, you'll also very much get personal attention because you'll be on there, and the whole idea is to really dive in deeper with you. So you're going to get an opportunity to get some one-on-one coaching and healing on those calls. In addition, you're gonna, as an Awakening member, you're gonna be the front of the line for one-on-one work with the speakers when we're actually on the live session. So you'll get a special access code. I haven't actually figured out how I'm going to do it, but we're going to work it out so that you get a special code so that Awakening members get to jump to the front of the line for when the masters do their healing work and on the live calls. So again, the early adopter special, you get the next level for as long as you stay a member. So in other words, when you pay for the opening level price, you get the expanding level benefits, and I highly recommend you get the awakening level benefits when you pay for the expanding level price. Your cost will never go up. And even when we add more benefits and raise the price, that is the benefit of being an early adopter. Your price will never go up. Now, you might ask, why am I doing this? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One, the first is you're going to be helping us. You're going to be helping us to seed this group, because in order for this community to thrive, we've got to hit a critical mass, and I want to hit that critical mass quickly so that we can have the number of people that's going to keep that community and that online forum thriving. Where, when you ask for support, there's 5, 10, 15 people who respond to you. Or even 2 or 3 that just have really good responses. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we'll be asking you for feedback. I'll want to hear what's working for you, what's not working for you, what else you want, what we can do differently, how we can improve. So that's another benefit for us. And then the third thing is we're still setting it up. So there may be some kinks in the system. We've gone through and tested it all, but you never know. There may be something. So you'll be reporting back to us, and you've got to put up, as an early adopter, you've got to put up with that a little bit. So that's why we get the benefit from you of you coming in, but you get the benefit of getting in at a super fantastic price, and that price will never go up. So you might have a little clunkiness in the beginning for the first few weeks, but then once we get all the kinks worked out, it's going to be smooth sailing, and you are at that early adopter price for as long as you stay a member. Now, it's only for this first week. It's only for this first week that you can get this early adopter price. Early adopters, it's for early adopters only. It's for people, that you're ready for this. You're like going, yeah, I want this. Early adopters, they say yes. You don't wait, you don't question, you just say yes. And you're the ones who generate momentum. You sort of get the ball rolling. So in some ways it's harder for early adopters because that momentum isn't going, so you got to push a little bit more. But ultimately, you get the greatest benefit. You really get the most out of the program because you said yes early, and it changes your life faster and quicker because you're saying yes. Others are going to follow. We're going to definitely have more people coming in, and they'll follow, and they'll get the benefits, but you're going to get the most benefit by saying yes now. So the special offer ends this Friday, or next Friday rather, April 25th. I guess it's this Friday, depending on when you're listening to this. So you can click on the button down below, or you can go to theabundantmystic.com/early-adopter-special. Probably easier just to click on the access button below. It absolutely ends Friday, April 25th. No matter how many people, if we have two people, we have 2,000 people, it doesn't matter. We're ending it on Friday, and this is one of those examples of where taking action to do something that I'm not really sure how this is going to go. I was guided to change this, but this is a big change from the normal model of summits, and it's definitely stepping out of my comfort zone because it's doing something differently. So I don't know how it's going to go, but this is an example of taking action, and if it fails, it fails. If 2 people sign up, then hey, I'll refund their money and we'll go back to the old way of doing it. But I feel really good about this. I feel like this is how we're going to make a bigger difference in the world. This is how you and I are going to really change the world, change each other, transform ourselves into abundant mystics where we're really, really solidly living in a place of personal prosperity, and we're making this world a better place at the same time. So I really, really hope that you'll join us. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email. I would love to hear from you and get your feedback. And if anything doesn't work, you can talk to our support team. They are awesome. And I look forward to seeing you in the Awakening Circle. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on the calls and in the Awakening Circle. Bye-bye.